All right, so moving on to the next segment, I'll be sharing my thoughts on the Netflix series Quarterback. Which quarterback should be featured on Netflix's series Quarterbacks heading into this upcoming NFL season? So, I will be sharing my thoughts on the Netflix series Quarterback, and then I'll be getting into that question I just said for you guys. So, I do believe that this is a great series that Netflix put together for starting NFL quarterbacks. This series featured three quarterbacks in the first season. It has been renewed by Netflix, so we'll be seeing it again next year around this time. But I am a fan of the production of what Netflix did, showing the insight of what NFL quarterbacks go through on a weekly basis. Yes, the media does travel to see what these guys do, but we don't get to see the insight of what it takes to be an NFL quarterback. We saw what Patrick Mahomes, Kirk Cousins, and Marcus Mariota all went through last season to put their bodies on the line to be the best quarterback that they can be for their respective franchises. We got to see what makes Patrick Mahomes tick, what makes him the baby goat, what adjustments does he make on the fly to be the best quarterback in the National Football League today. I thought it was pretty deep that if you guys remember that AFC divisional round game that the Chiefs had against the Jacksonville Jaguars. We saw in that game early in the first half, Patrick Mahomes went down with an ankle injury. Chad Henne came in for a few drives for the Kansas City Chiefs, but we actually got to saw the real insight of what was going on the sidelines between Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid after the injury. Patrick Mahomes pleading and begging Andy Reid to get back in the game. Andy Reid not taking a chance on his franchise quarterback, suffering even a deeper injury. We saw Patrick Mahomes, that drive, that commitment, that fire and desire to want to be out there on the field and help his team win another playoff game that he already has 11 playoff wins. I mean, how many more do you want, Patrick Mahomes? But I like that stuff. I like that gritty determination that we don't really get to see all the time during NFL games because, yes, when a player gets hurt, we got the reporters, we got the insight, we got the scoop of what's going on. Will this player come back or not? I like that we saw that a lot. I also like that we saw a deeper inside of Kirk Cousins, someone that gets bashed at the quarterback position. But I liked what we saw with Kirk Cousins going through what he did for a good Minnesota Vikings team last year, putting his body on the line, absorbing hits, going through drastic measures to be the best quarterback that he could be for his franchise last year. I like the insight that we saw of Kirk Cousins last year. And I like that we got a deeper look of veteran quarterback Marcus Mariota. Marcus Mariota came back last year, signed a deal with the Atlanta Falcons. At one point, was their starting quarterback for the franchise. I like the fact that we got to saw his story, former NFL second overall pick in the 2015 draft, a guy that's still trying to stay relevant, a guy still trying to prove that he was a starter in the National Football League. I like the insight that we saw of a veteran player, Marcus Mariota, still trying to prove that he belongs in the National Football League. So I thought it was a good mix of quarterbacks that Netflix had for the first season between Patrick Mahomes, someone who is the best of the best. Then you have Kirk Cousins, who's in the mix, in the bunch of terms of best quarterbacks. He's in that conversation for a guy that's just outside the top 10, top 12 guy, top 15, I should say top 13, 14 guy. And then you have Marcus Mariota, like I just said, trying to prove that he still belongs in the National Football League. So which quarterbacks should be featured on this season, during this NFL season for the next upcoming Netflix series Quarterback? So these are the three quarterbacks that I do believe should be featured for this upcoming NFL season. So at number one, I'm going with Joe Burrow, quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals. In my opinion, he's currently the second best quarterback in the National Football League. But I think Joe Burrow would make a good a good quarterback to put on the Netflix series quarterback because he is a great leader. He is very determined to win, very determined to put the Cincinnati Bengals in position to go on deep playoff runs on a yearly basis. I want to watch him prepare for games. I want to see what makes Joe Burrow tick, what makes him want to have that drive, that fire, passion to help the Cincinnati Bengals become one of the best teams in the National Football League. I want to see what his insight is on his quest to being a first time ever Super Bowl champion, and I want to see his will to be great. Even in adversity moments, I want to see what makes Joe Burrow make adjustments when he's going through adversity. I want to see what makes Joe Burrow tick, what makes him one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League. I think this will be a good replacement for Patrick Mahomes heading into next season. And then the second quarterback I would have is quarterback Dak Prescott for the Dallas Cowboys. He's America's quarterback, and the Dallas Cowboys always have drama. What a better way for Netflix to add even more spice to the series by adding America's quarterback and Dak Prescott. But Dak Prescott, I do believe, would be a good person to put on this series. Not only is it because he's America's quarterback and they're always in the media, but Dak Prescott is a great, tremendous leader as well. The media really doesn't talk about how a tremendous leader Dak Prescott really is. He's really the heartbeat of the Dallas Cowboys. The franchise respects him. Offensive players respect him. Defense players respect him. Coaches respect him. You even have veteran guys that used to be a part of the Dallas Cowboys, like Cole Beasley, even rant about Dak Prescott has been the best leader that he's ever been around in his NFL career thus far. So Dak Prescott has been a great leader. I think this would be a great insight of not only the Dallas Cowboys, but even more wins and losses for the Dallas Cowboys that they'll suffer. I want to see the good days and the bad days for the Dallas Cowboys. I do think that Dak Prescott would be a great player to put in the Netflix series. Quarterback number 3 would be Baker Mayfield. Now, Baker Mayfield will fill that void that Marcus Mariota was last year, a veteran quarterback that was a former high draft pick, still trying to prove that he belongs in the National Football League. In a similar situation that Marcus Mariota was in last year, battling with a young quarterback to have the starting position. He was battling with young quarterback Desmond Ridder to be the week 1 starter. He won the job. Baker Mayfield's in that similar situation, battling with a quarterback of Kyle Trask, who is trying to be the starting quarterback. They're trying to battle out in training camp right now to find out who's going to be the franchise guy. I think this would be a good supporting cast for next year's Netflix series. But 3 quarterbacks again: Joe Burrow 1, Dak Prescott 2, Baker Mayfield 3, a quarterback that's still trying to prove that he should be a starter in the National Football League. I think that would be a great quarterback set for Netflix next year. Netflix, if you want some ideas, just listen to this segment because I think I have some money for you guys. Joe Burrow, Dak Prescott, and Baker Mayfield would all be great acquisitions to the Netflix series quarterback next NFL season.